Hey guys, what's up? It's Jeffrey Lynn. Today I want to talk about just feeling alone and feeling like you don't have friends when you have a chronic illness such as eczema or any other chronic illness that prevents you from socializing, doing kind of what other people do. And most of the time I get this question from kids, teens. So this video is for you. I am traveling alone here in Amsterdam. Now I was just in Paris and Rotterdam, and I'm going to Stockholm next. So I've lived most of my life doing things on my own, but people do come around. So let's talk about that. While we roll the intro, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you on the other side.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boy.
Hey guys, it's Jeffrey Lynn. So I've been traveling on my own for the past week and a half. First I went to Paris for Paris Fashion Week. Then I stopped in Rotterdam, the south part of Holland. And today I'm here in Amsterdam. I usually come a couple times a year just to heal. Somehow I do so much better here. My asthma is basically gone, and my allergies are so much better. Even the foods that I eat don't react as much as when I'm in America. I've been just about to every corner of America and some parts of Asia, and never have I felt this good. So I try to kind of come a couple times a year, but I do travel alone, and sometimes it does get lonely. So today I want to talk about or answer a question I get a lot, which is usually from kids in high school and junior high, a couple in college, I guess, about just not having friends or people being afraid of them because of their eczema skin condition, or just not being able to socialize it much because of whatever condition they have. It could be like my allergies and just sensitivities to fragrances and odors, or just needing not being able to eat certain foods and can't go out. So I do miss out on a ton of social interactions, but I do have a lot more than most people would imagine. And so my main advice to people that are feeling alone, especially the kids that are feeling alone right now, is school seems like a big part because it's all you've known since you've had your memory from probably like age 4 that you can remember. You've probably been in kindergarten or preschool, and then elementary school all the way up to junior high and high school. So all you've known is school life and just that environment. But school is actually a tiny, tiny part of life once you kind of graduate either from high school and just go on and do your own thing, or if you actually go to college, then it's going to take a couple more years. But even for me, college was quite liberating. Like, people mature so much between high school and college. They're more accepting, and I guess just the fact of going to college and being exposed to new worlds, being out on your own, being exposed to classmates from all over the country and oftentimes all over the world, or if you travel to somewhere else, to a different country to go to college, go to school, that opens up the mind a lot for other students, and they're more accepting. And so people do tend to open up and won't judge you like kids would. So it really is just a phase, and it's really hard when you're living through that part. But it's also a sign of their immaturity, because as people get older, everybody gets sick. So I don't care who you are, you're going to run into difficult times in your life, not just with health, but with finances, with relationships. It's just that for those of us with chronic illness and those of us who were born with it or develop the illness at a very young age, we had to learn to become mature and deal with these realities of life a lot sooner than other kids who are currently in school and they're technically sheltered by parents and the school system. I guess a lot of kids who have to go out and get a job for themselves grow up a lot sooner too, and those people are probably more accepting, just because in the workplace, or even working at McDonald's, you have to deal with adults and all kinds of people, and you have to be accepting of them and work with them and work with clients and customers, instead of just being in your own clique, being in your own group of friends that typically happens in junior high and high school, that makes you feel excluded. So it's not necessarily something that's wrong with you. It's just if you have a chronic illness, you probably grew up a lot faster than your classmates, and if they're excluding you, or you don't feel like they understand what you're going through, it's just they haven't had to face real life, and eventually they will, and when they do, then they'll be accepting of you and kind of be on the same page. And that's kind of where I am. It's just I've met so many people throughout my life that are perfectly okay with how I am and see me as a normal person, even though obviously I'm not. They'll make accommodations if I need to eat at McDonald's all the time just because I can't eat anything else when I'm traveling. Those my friends will do that for me, because when you get older, you've eaten at just about every place possible, and having a meal or two with me at a McDonald's or a Subway isn't a big deal for them. But when you're a kid and everything seems like super cool or trendy, you want to just go to a certain place and check it out, or that's where all the people are hanging out, they're less willing to be accommodating. But as an adult, it's also hard to find cliques or group of friends that are hanging out at a certain place, just because everybody has jobs, everybody has a family and other obligations. You're not just going to have free time to kick and do whatever. So that brings me to another point, that in the school years, junior high and high school, even though you do have these restrictions, and maybe you don't have the social group that you want, and you don't have the friends that you want, you also still have so much more freedom and time to do your own thing and figure yourself out than when you become an adult. Because once you become an adult, things just get harder. Kids want to grow up and think things will get easier as you get older, because you get to decide what you want to do. But that's not the case. There's just so many things just become your responsibility, so many things that your parents are doing for you, your school's doing for you, or maybe even your coach. They are handling a lot of real world stuff. They're keeping that at bay so that you can be at home, you can go to school, you can just focus on growing up. But once you do grow up, there's a lot of things to handle. So I would say just focus on your life right now, and if you're sick, just focus on trying to get better, trying to understand and study your disease, trying to understand medical science and how to work with doctors, and make that your focus. Don't focus on how other people are treating you or how big or small your social circles are. I literally spent most of my school years at home learning everything on my own, but eventually things turned around, and it's because I spent so much time on my own learning that I had the skills to do certain work and then meet people through those work that have similar passions, such as stock trading or my videography. And then once you get into a circle of people with the same passions, a lot of times people will also see past your limitations, just kind of see you for the same passions that you have, the same interests that you have with them.